Good afternoon and welcome to Winchester News Online. Our top story today. After the government announced the mini-budget, a groundbreaking plan to cut taxes, there have been a number of U-turns as the Chancellor of the Exchequer has faced pressure to help the poorest in society. This announcement comes at a time of great pressure for civilians dealing with the cost of living crisis and high inflation, billed as a dramatic budget event. And with a radical plan to slash taxes, then came the U-turns, following relentless political pressure. With markets in turmoil and the government reputation seriously damaged, our reporter Alistair English tries to make sense of the political events over the last week.
On Sunday, Liz Truss announced on Laura Kuenssberg's morning show that she would remain loyal to her mini-budget proposal.
I do stand by the package we announced, and I stand by the fact that we announced it quickly because we had to act. But I do accept we should have laid the ground better.
In Birmingham over the weekend, Liz Truss said her government has a very clear plan and understands why people are worried. Jake Berry, the Conservative Party chairman, said that after a budget announcement, markets can overreact and people must wait around 6 months to see what the economy will do.
In his mini-budget, the Chancellor announced he was going to scrap the 45p income tax, but days later he has decided to U-turn on that decision.
We need to move forward. No more distractions, we have a plan, and we need to get on and deliver it.
Before these announcements, Winchester City Council declared a cost of living intervention.
We are putting in place a £200,000 package of measures to provide help and support to those who need it most. This includes help to reduce and manage energy bills, help to access benefits and grants, help to access food and other types of emergency support.
Council leader Martin Todd believes there's not enough information from the government.
So we're not at this stage planning to revise our plans to support cost of living, but that's partly because we're still not entirely sure what the full package is that's going to be coming from central government.
As the markets respond to the government's new economic plans, and thanks to another U-turn, the Office of Budget Responsibility will publish their forecasts for the government's fiscal plans this month. Alistair English, Winchester News Online.
With roadworks and traffic increasing throughout the south, plans to reduce congestion at Junction 9 on the M3 in Winchester are well underway. Owen Noon reports in more detail.
Highway England are working with the public to create a number of improvements to the M3 Junction 9 at WINOL. Revised plans for the junction were released following some criticism from conservationists. A meeting with the public was held at WINOL Tesco on Monday the 26th to discuss these changes.
With the junction being so important, traffic levels between the M3 and A34 get very heavy, with an estimated 6,000 vehicles passing by per hour. To battle this and to improve the safety of the junction means that environmental spaces such as this could be affected.
As a result of the feedback we got from that consultation, the general view was that people were, happy with the proposal and the layout of the scheme, but there were a few areas where they felt we could do better, and that's one of the things we've been looking at since consultation and which we've incorporated into the scheme.
The Hampshire and Isle of Wight Wildlife Trust have been in close conversation with Highway England, giving them their full support, whilst also believing that the scheme doesn't go nearly far enough in the protection of the surrounding environment.
We welcome the improved mitigation and provision for habitat improvements in the revised plans. We will continue to liaise closely with Highway England to ensure that there is a sufficient mitigation for any impacts for the wildlife and important habitats.
With planning proposals set to be in by the end of this year, construction on the junction is expected to begin in the winter of 2024. Daily users of the junction, however, will have to wait that little bit longer before any real improvements are noticed. Owen Noon, Winchester News Online.
A petition to keep Andover Road open when the adjacent Winchester Avenue will be ready to use has reached over 2,000 signatures. Dorian Pavro reports.
Over the last few months, a petition has been created by the Kings Barton Residents Association to keep Andover Road open. They have now reached more than 2,000 signatures online. This petition comes after the council revealed the plan of closing Andover Road when Winchester Avenue will be ready to use.
That if you have this road which I'm standing on, the new road, Winchester Avenue, designed as a high capacity throughput road into the city, and the Andover Road, which is also a high capacity road into the city, both open, that doesn't make any sense at all. And that we're going to have to make a choice to downgrade one road or the other.
Whether Andover Road will close or not, some people see this as an opportunity to improve traffic and see an increase in cycling around Winchester.
We don't mind which of these two roads here gets closed, so long as one of them does. Now that doesn't solve all the problems of cycling into Winchester, but it's a start. It makes a huge difference and it shows the commitment of the council.
Dorian Pavro, Winchester News Online.
After the appointment of Liz Truss as Prime Minister, a petition calling for a general election has gained nearly 500,000 signatures. Kurt Hill asked the Winchester public their thoughts.
A petition has gained 400,000 signatures calling for a general election. I asked the Winchester public what they thought about it.
We should definitely be doing that. 160,000 people, or whoever it was, that voted for Liz Truss. That's not representative of this whole country, is it?
In my opinion, I don't think it should happen, just because I think it's going to create more of a disturbance. I know people aren't happy with the decision of Liz Truss, but I think trying to do another general election will take more time, divert away from any plans that she already does have or trying to work on, and I think people should be trying to work with the current government rather than fighting against it constantly.
I feel like since it's such a small minority of people that have voted on the Prime Minister and they dictate what happens and how the country is run for everyone else, I think it's only fair to have a general election.
Yeah, I think that they should definitely allow for new elections to take place.
She's clearly useless, isn't she? Clearly. That's it.
And now we're handing over to Jen Howard for all of our entertainment news.
Thanks, Tom. We're back with WINOL Entertainment. And a big one this week, Netflix has visited Winchester and brought their new stars Dominic West and Elizabeth Debicki for filming of Season 5 of The Crown. With filming taking place at the Cathedral and Winchester College, Sinead Cochran has the latest on the extremely popular series all about the royals.
In this peaceful city, one of Britain's favourite Netflix series is used as a set. The Crown has used some of Winchester's most famous landmarks such as the Cathedral, the Great Hall and most recently, Winchester College.
We've seen a big increase in interest, if you like, in filming within Winchester, whether it's in Winchester town itself, the Cathedral, the college. We've got all sorts of venues that are great for film locations and we're trying to promote that.
The Series 5 released in November, focusing on the divorce of King Charles and Lady Diana, we asked the people of Winchester what they thought about an Emmy Award-winning series being filmed on their doorstep.
I didn't even know it was filmed. Yeah, that's quite cool. So obviously you've got the history of the royals here.
I think it's great. I'm happy to promote Winchester in any way.
I have no idea. In fact, I have hardly watched any of it, I'm afraid.
With filming for Season 6 starting soon, could Winchester be welcoming back Netflix's very own royal family? Sinead Cochran, Winchester News Online.
And once again, the Railway Inn provided us with a feel-good night as the Tuba Libres got that weekend feeling started on a Thursday night. We sent Torin Budd to cover every note.
Thursday night was a night like no other at the Railway Inn, as the Tuba Libres unleashed their catchy funk grooves to an eager crowd. The group played a mix of their own original songs, as well as some fan favourite covers.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good crowd tonight. Railway Inn is always a great gig, highlight of our year, and yeah, it's always packed, and yeah, gonna be jumping.
It's a fun environment doing it indoors. Very a lot of outdoor stuff where the ambiance is a bit like flat. So yeah, it's always good fun. Always look forward to it.
Despite their unconventional approach in not having any vocals, and being a 7-piece band, the Tuba Libres managed to bring one of the liveliest shows and biggest crowds we've seen at the Railway Inn. Lauren Budd, Winchester News Online.
That's all from me and Winchester's latest entertainment this week. Back to you, Tom.
And that's all from us as well. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.